Hi, it's MJ, and welcome to Key to the Keys, a podcast that explores the stories of local residents who have made the islands of the Florida Keys their home. Each week, I'll be sitting down with local business owners and community members who will share their personal journeys of relocating to this stunning destination and offer their unique perspective on what it truly means to live, work, and thrive here in the Florida Keys. So, whether you're considering a move, looking to start a business here in the community, or simply curious about life in this tropical paradise, my hope is that these stories will inspire you to take that bold leap of faith and live the life you want. I am so excited about today's episode because I'm sitting down with someone who not only runs one of the most charming local shops in Islamorada, but who's also a dear friend of mine, Jen White, owner of Olive Morada. If you've ever stepped into her store, you already know it's special, one-of-a-kind, unique. From the flavored infused oils and balsamics to her signature gift baskets and beautiful ribbon wrap packaging Jen is known for, everything in Olive Morada reflects heart, care, and intention. Even when you're buying something for yourself, it feels like a gift. In this conversation, Jen shares how following her heart not only led to a permanent move here to the Florida Keys, but also led to a career shift from photographer to olive oil shop owner. Whether you're a Keys local, a small business lover, or someone dreaming about life down here, this one will leave you feeling inspired and connected and encouraging you to follow your heart. Jen, my friend, it's finally happening.
I know, we've been talking about it a while.
Yes. Because I started to think about and create the podcast last fall, and you were the first person. I was like, I want Jen on my podcast. I want to interview her. And, life happens, and the holidays hit, and our busy season here in the Keys you're a busy bee owning a shop here in Islamorada. So I'm just so glad we could carve out some time today. Thank you so much for inviting us to your beautiful shop to host this interview. And I just can't wait for people to hear your story, how you relocated to the Keys, how you started a business, and just kind of your perspective on Keys life and some local insight from you. So I've already given the listeners a little intro about you, but I want you to introduce yourselves to everyone.
Okay.
And tell us your name, your business, and then we're going to start with where were you before you moved to the Keys? Just briefly give us an overview, just so we can have that perspective, and then we'll flow into your Keys story.
Sounds good. My name is Jen White. I'm the owner of Olive Morada, and we've been in the Keys, my family, since 2015. We moved here from Fort Myers, Florida. When I lived in Fort Myers, I was a stay-at-home mom. Most of the time we were there. We lived there for 16 years and raised my daughter there. Stay-at-home mom. I had a little photography business. I did high school senior photography, family photography, and my husband owned his own business. He had a restoration, flood fire mold restoration business there. And you want to know what brought us to the Keys?
Yeah, and where are you? Are you from Florida, or where are you originally from?
So my husband's a Floridian. I am not. I grew up in New York, on Long Island. I came to Florida in the early 90s. I moved around a lot, so I've seen all different parts of Florida. When I moved down, I lived in Miami. I was doing hospital billing at that time. Then I stayed there probably about 3 years, and then I moved up to the Clearwater, Indian Rocks area.
Nice.
And that's when I met my husband, and Kevin lived in West Palm.
Okay.
And we had a long distance relationship for a little while. And then I moved over there to be with him, and we got married in West Palm in Jupiter. And probably a year after we got married, we decided to move to Fort Myers. He went to go work for a company that he had worked for a while.
Yeah.
When we had our daughter in 2000, that's when I was going to go back to work, but then I was so in love with my little girl that I decided to stay home. And Kevin, at that time, shortly after, opened his own business, his flood, fire, and mold restoration business. He had that, he still has it. He works it as a silent partner. So he still has a piece of that business. And I guess we had been coming to the Keys on vacation for all that time.
Okay.
I'd say maybe in I think it was 2009, his brother bought a house in Big Pine. And that was primarily a vacation home for them, and they were very generous, and we got to use it frequently.
That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. And so we really loved going down there, and we would, sometimes go with his brother. Sometimes his brother would say, you can use the house, bring your friends down. And so we created a lot of memories in that house. It was a lot of fun. And my husband has always been a big fisherman, so that appeal was, we always towed the boat down with us.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
That's always the draw for the men. The fishing is definitely, one of a kind down here.
And I think his brother sold the house in maybe 2012, somewhere around there. And we were like really missing it. And so we wound up getting a travel trailer.
Okay, fun.
Yeah, and we kept it at Grassy Key.
Okay.
2 summers in a row, we kept it there at Grassy Key, and we would come down on the weekends and then really enjoy it. And then one summer, we were just towing the trailer back, and we were all sad, and we said, maybe we want to live here.
Yeah.
And my husband said, really, you want to live here? And he said, my daughter, you want to live here? And she said, yeah, I'll live here. And so we just, on a whim, decided to sell everything, move here.
Yeah.
And
how old was your daughter at the time?
So Katie was 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so she did go to Coral Shores High School. We rented a house first before we bought. We rented a house in right across from Founders in that area.
Yeah.
In Islamorada.
Did you know you wanted to be in Islamorada, or was that just kind of the place that happened to be?
I think we did because we were focused on what would be the best school for Katie.
Okay.
So if it had just been me and Kevin, we might have gone further south. But because we were, thinking schools, we decided on Islamorada.
Okay.
And we liked a little bit of life here. Like, I don't know, I think as we went further south, we felt like it was, didn't have as much going on, but that's just because it wasn't because we knew. It was because we were just making our own generalization, And so, we rented in Islamorada, and then I think in 2016 is when we bought our house in Tavernier. Yeah.
Been there ever since?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cute little house. And Katie graduated from Coral Shores. She went off to school in Jacksonville, and now she's back here. She's a teacher at PKS. She teaches first grade. Kevin opened up a charter business, a fishing charter business.
Doing what he loves.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so we're all here together and found our way to different careers, right?
So moved down, and did you start up your photography business here at first? Like what avenues of business did you start?
I did. I started my photography business. I focused mainly on families. I found my high school senior market just wasn't as big down here as it is up there, over in Fort Myers. So I focused more on families, and I joined the Chamber of Commerce, and that's how I kind of got started knowing people.
Okay.
And that's how I met one of my friends who eventually we bought this store together.
Okay.
So
Is that kind of what the inspiration to going into the storefront, Olive Morada? Like, what was the inspiration to partner up with your friend? And did you all build this business, or was it an existing business?
It was existing. It's been around since 2013. This store was a family-owned business, and it was a husband and wife that owned it, and he had passed away, and she was really wanting to get out of the Keys and start fresh somewhere else. So originally, it was just my friend who was going to purchase the store, and then she had asked me if I would like to be a partner. And I think what kind of maybe brought me to the realization that maybe I should jump in and do it with her is I had been caregiving for my mom for a few years, and her and I had always talked about opening a shop together. And she passed away, and my mom was always a systematic saver, even though she was kind of fixed income. And so she left each one of her kids a little bit of money, and the investment for this store was exactly what my mom had left me.
Wow.
And I kind of felt like that was my little push, like, go do this for me, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so I would say my mom was the inspiration behind, starting a little gift shop. So we bought the store in 2018. I think it was in August of 2018. And then we did a year together with the store, and after a year my friend wanted to go on and do other things, so I took full ownership of the shop, and I think it was in January of 2020, and it was good. Shortly after COVID hit, so that was very challenging, but found my way through that, and a lot of community support. People were cooking at home, and we did a lot of deliveries and shipping out, and just made it through that weird time. And
tell us a little bit about what Olive Morada is and the products you offer. I know all our local folks probably are very familiar with Olive Morada because it's very popular here, but for anybody listening that's not familiar with your shop, and she does, like she said, she has an online store, so even if you're not here locally and can't come into the store, you can shop online too. So tell us a little bit about.
Okay. So we're an olive oil and vinegar shop primarily. We're Veronica Foods. We're supplied by Veronica Foods, and she's been in business for 96 years, family-owned business. Wow. She sources from small batch farmers, and so her products all come from, her standards are higher than organic standards, which I like to tell people, even though we're not organically certified. Her standards are higher than organic standards. So for the oils, all the farmers have to have a mill on premises, and everything is milled within 2 to 3 hours. Cold, first pressed olive oils. So it's a super high quality product. We have here, I think, with olive oils, we have about almost 20 flavored oils, and then we also have our extra virgin olive oils that we carry a mild, a medium, and a robust. All the balsamics, we carry white balsamics and dark balsamics. Same thing, probably about a little over 20 flavors. Those are all sourced from Modena, Italy, through Veronica Foods. And then we like to bring in other products that complement the olive oils and vinegars. We carry spices. We do carry a local line of spices too, made in the Keys. We just brought in the Islamorada honey, which we're really excited about. Our specialty is probably our custom gift baskets.
Yes,
yeah.
And they are beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
She does such a beautiful job. And she's known for her pretty bows. And so she's always putting the bows on the baskets, or even if you're not creating a custom basket with Jen, but even just like the shopping bag has the beautiful tissue and the beautiful bow, and so it feels like you're always getting a gift for yourself.
We do. We love to make everything look pretty, and I'll go back to my mom for that. That's how my mom was. Every little detail was just perfect, and she used to keep a little box under her bed of ribbon that was special whenever she would receive a gift, and it had a special ribbon on it. She always kept it and like reused it on someone else's gift, and so she was all about the ribbon and the paper and the pretty stuff, you know, and so I like to kind of keep that special touch in the store, and people notice it. They come back because of that, and they love how things are wrapped, and we take the same special care when we ship things too. We always try and make it to be a nice presentation when you open up that box, and everything looks so pretty.
Yeah,
so
it really, really does.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and I've been lucky. I have some great employees that care about that too, and they everyone has their talent, and they know how to make pretty bows and make things look pretty too. So I've been fortunate to get a nice team in here.
Yeah, that's so important. Has there been any challenges with running a business in the Keys? Because, I mean, we're a small little island,
Sure.
It's a little different from, I feel like, running a business on the mainland. So just give us some insight of...
I would say maybe some of the challenges would be, the first one that comes to mind for sure is the cost of having things shipped here, especially more so when it's an imported, product. So I have to give my husband kudos. He goes to Miami and picks up my shipments, pallets of oils and vinegars, and so to have them delivered to the store would increase the cost tremendously. So we cut costs by going to pick them up, and it's a big feat because you have to load it up into the car and then unload it, and it's a pallet of oils and vinegars. I would say maybe another challenge is that I'm not in like a walking town, so I don't have like the foot traffic that you would have if you were in like a walking town.
So like we don't have like a main square, or we have kind of like a downtown district in Islamorada, but it's not like what you would think of downtown in other senses, or like Armand Circle or Brickell,
or even Key West, right?
Key West. I think Key West is really the only like town throughout the island chain that has that kind of walkability. So how have you combat that? How have you like brought in the foot traffic not being...
I mean, I've definitely tried all different ways of marketing. So the marketing is always a work in progress, right? Like, and I really like to try new things. I like to, see if, will putting an ad work? Will, doing a mailer work? Will doing a radio ad work, so...
Radio's big down here. And the newspaper, I feel like two sources of media that might not be as common in other areas of the country is still here, like, in the Keys. Like, I always get my information from the newspaper or local magazines, and the radios, we have local radio shows, and the fishing report comes on every day, and how have you felt, like, what was What really worked for you?
I feel like my ad in the Chamber of Commerce Visitor's Guide is really a great one. I would say that's a really good one for me. Social media is definitely number one.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep up with social media, and then I recently added text marketing to, yeah. So when you come in, you can join the loyalty program here, and when you sign up for that, you do enroll yourself in the text marketing. And I was a little bit afraid to start that. I didn't know how, people would like that, but it's actually been very good for me, and my customers have nothing but good things to say about it. And I would say maybe the secret and the sauce behind that is that I don't overdo it. I don't, overwhelm them with too many texts. It's only, maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah, so they know they're getting some juicy information when you're texting them.
Yeah, I definitely have a good response to that. And, I would say in-store and online, I have a good response to that, because I try and, I do email marketing as well, but the text marketing, I was a little surprised at how successful that has been for me.
Yeah. And you even do some shows and some markets. You've traveled up and down the Keys and even to Miami at times too.
I do, yeah, I do select amount of those. I like to stick to the storefront, but it's fun to get out every now and then and meet new people and make new connections. We do the tour of kitchens in Coral Gables. We've done that for a couple of years. And the Beaux Arts Festival, we've become involved with that organization, the Beaux Arts organization, and we've done their holiday shop, we've done their art festival. And so, it's nice to gain new customers. And it's funny too, because you don't realize how many people up in that area have second homes here, and they didn't know about the shop.
So you're making that connection from afar.
Yeah. So that always surprises me when they're like, "Oh my gosh, I have a house in Key Largo. I didn't even know you were there." And then then they wind up coming in and bringing their friends in, and so creates a nice new network of customers. Yeah. And then I also like to once a year I like to pick a new mode of learning, and I travel and I take a new class or attend a conference, and I always meet a great new network of retail store owners, and we grow and learn with each other, and that has been very good for me. Which I'm about to venture off on one in a couple weeks. And the focus is on how to increase your foot traffic, so I'll be excited to learn, some tricks on that.
Yeah, so we're kind of in between our seasons right now, between our busy winter, spring, and then we'll have pickup for summer. So in the downtime, when you're not, busy maintaining the shop, what's some your favorite things to do in the Keys? Like, what's the perfect day for Jen in the Keys?
I like to, me and my husband, he has a boat, so if he doesn't have a charter, we go on a boat ride, He wants to take me offshore, but I like to stick around and just do the little boat ride. I like to get together with my friends, maybe hit some of our favorite spots for coffee or lunch. I love to take my little dog on a walk. That's my little girl. I'm kind of chill, I'm more a kind of a homebody, I'll be honest. But I do have some favorite little spots I love in this area that I like to hit on my time off. And I'm a little bit of a workaholic, so I do find myself...
When you run a business and you're an entrepreneur, it's always in the mind.
I know. I have to get better at that. I have to learn how to disconnect a little better.
It's hard.
So that is definitely a new season goal for me, is to learn how to disconnect a little better.
And I feel like we live in such a beautiful place. Like if you do mindfully make the time, you can feel, even when you're just 30 minutes away, you can still feel like you're, far away because we're in vacation land.
Well, for sure.
But we could take a girls trip down to Key West and just have a day. We're not even a full day. We just do like a half day vacation or whatever. But you can really, if you put your mind to it, unplug, yet not having to go too far, but feel like you're on, a luxury faraway trip.
No, I did do that recently. I went down to Key West for just a night with a friend, and I was surprised I didn't open my computer one time.
That's nice.
Did I bring it with me? Yeah, I did bring it with me. I wasn't sure. Maybe I didn't bring it with me, but I didn't. Yeah, we didn't open it, and it was fun. Just having good meals and soaking up the Key West vibe. So.
So speaking of friends, I know one of the challenges here is that you can feel really isolated in the Keys. Half our population's only here for part of the year, and there's, a small amount of us that live here full time. How long did you feel it took you to really start to connect and make some groups of friends and meet people that you would like to go have coffee with or go for a girls trip with?
I mean, I have to say I was pretty fortunate that happened kind of quickly for me.
Good.
And I did have a friend in Fort Myers that introduced me to a friend here before I even moved here.
Oh, nice. So and made the connections ahead of time.
She was very instrumental in introducing me to new people. And then I'd say our neighbors became our really good friends like family. I mean, we celebrate birthdays together. We, spend a lot of time together, have meals together. I have to say, I think that happened pretty quick for me. So, and I was so happy because I did leave a very good network of friends in Fort Myers. I raised my daughter there, and I used to belong to mom's groups, and some of my best friends are my, daughter's friends' parents. So, and that did happen for me here too. Some of Katie's friends that she met in high school are now our family friends, and the kids are all off in their careers, and we have these friendships that are solid. So I feel like that when you're in a small town, that's one thing I do love about being in a small town. If Kevin and I go to our favorite restaurant, they put our drinks out on the table right as they see us walking in, and I love that part about it. And even when I go to the hardware store, they'll joke with me, "Oh, Kevin was just here. Didn't he know to get that for you?" So I love that small town feeling of a lot of people know the same people, right?
And it's a good support system.
I mean, I thought it would take longer than what it did to meet friends, but that did happen pretty quickly for me.
Any advice for someone who might feel like they're having a hard time acclimating to the Keys or making a feeling like they're part of the community? Any advice?
I don't know. I mean, in the beginning, I have to say I was better at getting out, to Chamber of Commerce meetings and to, all the special events that the Keys has to offer, the festivals, and then even we joined the Moose when we first came. Now we're members at the Elks because it's just so convenient because we're right in Tavernier. But I would say joining the Moose, becoming member of Chamber of Commerce, and just getting involved. And I also used to volunteer in some of the fundraisers. Time doesn't allow for me to do that much anymore, but I would say getting involved in community events really helped me get acclimated, and people are very accepting and excited to have you jump into to those activities.
That's good.
Yeah.
What is one thing you feel like somebody wouldn't understand about the Keys until they're here, living, working, having a life here? What's something that's kind of surprising, but you wouldn't really know until you're here?
That's a tough one.
Like, was there anything that you weren't expecting when you moved down here full time? Because a lot of people come here on vacation. They're like, oh yeah, I know the Keys. I come down, every year this month, or we come down on the weekends. But sometimes when you live here, there's certain things where I wouldn't have ever known that unless I lived here. Yeah.
I would guess maybe I didn't realize how much in the beginning, not now anymore, how much I relied on big box stores. So that took getting used to, not having that in such a good driving distance, and now I feel like it saved me money.
I agree. You can't just go to 5 minutes down the street to Target or Home Goods. And
and then it also forces me to carve out the time to maybe take a jaunt off island and have a focus on what I'm there for,
Yeah.
So, but I would say maybe that surprised me. I didn't realize how far away we are from certain, things that were convenient in Fort Myers. They were on every corner, the big shops.
Yeah, and now with technology and everything being online, it's made it even more easier. But sometimes it's just I need to be in person to see it and touch it and feel it.
Yeah.
And it's it's hard to do that when there's not a lot of options here. But it also helps because the Keys are the backbone of the community is small businesses like yours. So it really helps those businesses thrive, your business thrive, because those are the options people have to shop is going to local businesses and small businesses and supporting them for gifts and home goods and clothing and whatnot. So
no, and I think it has made me more aware too of that, being a business owner and relying on local support. It does make you want to do the same,
Yeah, instead of maybe ordering that one thing online, you're like, oh, I know so-and-so has something similar at their shop. I'll go there and buy it. And plus, it's just, when you send that, I always feel like when I send that gift off, I'm like, this was from the Keys. And you have a story of who the person you bought it from was, what the store is. And there's a whole little story that also goes along with that gift that makes it even that more special, I feel like.
For sure.
Yeah. And so with that, let's talk about, do you have anything upcoming that you'd like to share about the store or any other information you'd like to give people? Also, I want you to tell them where they can find out more information about you and how they can learn more about your products that you sell here.
Yeah, so I would say you can find us online at olivemorada.com. Not everything in the shop is online, so we're always happy to, if you feel like you saw something in the store that you didn't get and you don't see it online, we're happy to FaceTime you or send you pictures. We also like everyone to know that we love to do corporate gifts. We can customize to your company's logo. We can ship out for you. What else?
What's your store hours?
Oh, store hours. Well, it's a funny time right now with the construction going on. Normally, our hours are Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4. Sunday, we are always closed. With the recent construction, we've changed our hours temporarily, Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. But we're always happy to stay. If you can't make it, please call us and we can, stay for you. Because we understand people work and they can't always get here, at before 4. Yeah, our specialty is custom baskets. We like to fit any budget. So, if you want to do a hostess gift, a real estate closing gift, any kind of gift, we're happy to, make that customized to fit the occasion. What else? I would say we don't really have any special events coming up. We are looking at bringing in some local artisans like bakers and things like that occasionally. So we've done a couple of those, and they've been very successful, and the community loves that. So we might be looking to add that as a monthly event. But other than that, we're, business as usual at the store, and the website's always here. Like I say, we're really love to customize a gift for you or your company.
And they'll make sure to put all your information and contact info for like the store hours and the website and the social media, so everybody can follow along and easily connect with you. And so any other anything else you'd like to share, or any other tips you have for somebody who's looking to make the move down here to the Keys? Or
I guess I just wanted to maybe say that we love our product because we feel like the table is a place for gathering, a place for gathering your friends, your family, and where, not to be cheesy or corny, but where memories are made. Like I grew up in an Italian family, and that's where our memories are made, at the table. And so I just love that this product puts a different twist on your meals. It really, once you use it, that's it, you're hooked. And we love this community. We're so thankful for the community support in the Keys, and I think it's a beautiful, fun place to live. And Megan's your girl.
You're so sweet. Well, thank you so much again. I love our friendship, and it keeps blooming and blossoming, and I just can't wait to see more what comes to store here. You're always being creative, you're always adding things, and it just always, every time I come in here, it's just, your store is just so beautiful, and I want to buy it all. And
well, thank you for having me, and let me say too that you inspire me, because when I see how you get around the Keys and you show all the beautiful, cute little spots, that I'm like, Megan, where is that? Like you just really have a great sense of exploring, and you inspire me to want to soak it up more. So
we get into our routine here, and it's easy to, I always call it the bubble. We get our little bubbles and our circles, and we just go to our places that we normally do and don't venture out. But that's been a goal of mine, there's just so many small businesses in town and throughout the whole Keys that I just want to help people experience and know about. And maybe when they do have the time, they could be like, oh, let's try this new place. Or even if you're just visiting, to kind of go off the beaten path, and even though there's really no off the beaten path, there's one road in, one road out, but still it's so easy to go by places even though they're on the main road.
Oh, for sure.
So it's been and just connecting with people and connecting with the business owners, and learning how I can best support them, and learning what they need, and learning their story too, because again, having that story connected with the product is...
Well, and I find too that a lot of people that come into the shop, they ask me like, what do I want to see? Where should I go for dinner? Where should I? So I love, like, it's fun being the person to, tell them, where to go, and it comes back to me, like I love when I have certain servers at some of my favorite restaurants, and we refer each other, I say, ask for Christopher at Morada Bay, and he sends people here, and it's just, that to me is small community that you don't get everywhere, right? So,
even like one restaurant telling them to go for your next, if you're going down the Keys, try out this restaurant.
Sure.
Like restaurants supporting other restaurants,
Yeah.
boutiques supporting other boutiques. It's more about collaboration than competition, because if we can all support one another, we can only rise from there. So, all right.
Okay.
Well, everyone, come see Jen at Olive Morada when you're in Islamorada or passing through, or like I said, if you're not here in person, you can go online and see all her beautiful products. But if you are in person, you can come and you can literally taste every olive oil, every
that's a big
balsamic.
thing I didn't mention is,
and your mind will be blown. Like the flavor of everything is just amazing, and she has so many great recommendations and tips on how to use it, and not just like cooking, but in like mocktails or cocktails, or there's so many unique salad dressings. So it's just beautiful pairings.
Thank you.
Yeah,
lots of ways to use the product.
So whether you're looking to elevate your cooking, share these beautiful products with your friends and family through the beautiful gift baskets Jen creates. Like I said, all the information will be in the description below. And I just want to thank you again, my friend.
Thank
and
you
many
for
blessings
having me.
and abundance. And we'll be meeting up again soon for our girls trip.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Key to the Keys. And a big thank you again to Jen White for sharing her story and the heart behind Olive Morada. As promised, you'll find all her contact info, store details, and website linked in the show notes and description below. And if you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead, like, subscribe, and leave a quick review or a comment. It helps more people discover the show and get to know the incredible locals and small businesses that make the Florida Keys so special. And if you're planning a trip to Islamorada, I created a free Visiting Islamorada guide just for you that covers my go-to spots for eating, shopping, exploring, and relaxing like a local. You can grab it with the link I dropped in the show notes and description below. Whether you're visiting or considering a move here, I want to make sure your experience in the Keys is truly unforgettable.